G'day guys, Shrek here. Welcome to the Noob Spearos podcast. This is interviews with spearfishing experts, authorities and characters from around the world. But today it's something a little bit different. It's the inaugural Noob Spearos / Underwater Fanatics freedive and spearfishing course. We spent 3 days on North Stradbroke Island, and on the last night we kind of did a roundtable group interview and had a whole bunch of fun and a few beers, of course, as you're probably getting used to if you're listening to the podcast a few times. What is the freedive and spearfishing course? It was designed to help people get competent, confident, and have fun spearing over a long weekend on on one of the islands off Brisbane. I ran it with Keiren Limpus from Underwater Fanatics. We had an absolute blast. We learnt a ton, and we did a whole bunch of stuff right. And then we also had a lot of learning opportunities as well. But we had magic conditions. The blokes really loved it, and I hope it comes through loud and clear in this interview. Fun, safe, no ego. These are the values Noob Spearo sort of goes for, and it was great to sort of watch the rubber meet the road and, you know, put these guys through some exercises and help them to be able to get down and start maybe shooting some fish. And a couple of guys did. So, yeah, have a listen. It's a cool chat. But before we get there, guys, if you've got some stories, some cool stories, scary moments, stuff you've learned, go to noobspearo.com, head up into the menu there. You'll find a Noober stories section where you can leave a voice message. And I'll include that in an upcoming podcast, but it's always good to hear from the community and go for that high engagement, getting you guys amongst it, telling your own stories and sharing your own adventures. But here we go. Let's get into it. The inaugural long weekend spearfishing course by Keiren and I. We had a ton doing it, and we're hoping to do a whole bunch more like it. Have a listen. Love to see how you feel. If you are interested in doing one of these courses, then hit us up, Shrek@noobspearo.com, and I'll put your name on the list. Boom, here we go. Neptonics.com source the very best in spearing gear from around the planet. Jerry says, if we sell it, we believe in it, we trust it, and dive it. Neptonics is the one-stop shop for all your spearfishing essentials. Neptonics is solid gear that works, and you'll know it's true when you pull the trigger on a Neptonics mech, on every snap of a Neptonics power band, and in every whiz of a Neptonics spear gun reel, singing with the power of another big fish. Buy gear you can depend on at neptonics.com. Use the code NOOB10 to save 10%. Adreno.com.au, the home of recipes, blogs, videos, equipment reviews, and an obnoxiously large range of spearfishing equipment for frothers like you. Not only that, but spearfishing trips and courses and trips that I sometimes get to go on. Check them out at adreno.com.au. It's a Spearo's best friend. Check them out, and if you want to buy gear, pump in the code Noob Spearo to save $20 on every purchase over $200. You can use that online, in-store. Use the code Noob Spearo, save some cash, and support the Noob Spearo podcast. Shop with adreno.com.au. Hey guys, not sure how you stay hydrated out on the boats on those long days out on the water, but staying hydrated is absolutely critical towards good equalization and looking after your body, making sure you're not doing those awkward one-legged kicks to the surface when one leg cramps out on you. Go to aqualite.com.au and get yourself a box of sachets. You just simply add them to water. It's less than $1.28 per serve, cheaper and healthier than any other sports drinks on the market. Aqualite will make a difference in your spearfishing. Check it out at aqualite.com.au. Use the code NoobSpearo to save 10% on any order. Check it out. Aqualite, made in Western Australia. Hey guys, welcome to episode 200 and something. I'm surrounded by 9 legends. There's 10 of us here. We're over on North Stradbroke Island, and we are nearing the completion of a 3-day spearfishing and freediving course. To my left, I've got Keiren Limpus, the other second best instructor on the course. Welcome, Keiren, to the show.
Cheers, mate. Cheers for having me. It's been a great time over here, running this course.
Mate, we've had some cool students like, none of them actually seem that good, but they've done their best, you know, like it's been hard work really for us.
We had that one guy that actually made it to the bottom.
Oh, Rexy. We've had a blast. So the way we sort of structured this 3-day course is the first day and a half is really trying to get the PADI freediver requirements completed. So that involves some line diving, some dynamic swimming, some statics, a bit of theory, and these guys have all done online learning, and everyone ripped through it and took to it like the proverbial duck to water. What do you reckon?
Yeah, they all did really well. I was really stoked to see everybody smash even goals, even for those that have come back doing yet another course, and yet another freedive course, I should say, and that they're still smashing more goals that they'd set themselves even. So it was really good to see.
Cool. Tonight, mate, we cooked up a little bit of black spot tuskfish that we shot today. How did you cook that? I think everyone's enjoyed it, so let's get to the meals we've had on this course.
Yeah, well, tonight the black spot tuskfish I just did plain and simple, just the tuskfish straight on the hot plate on the barbecue. Once it was cooked through, took it off, a little bit of salt and pepper on it, and I'm guessing everyone loved it because it was gone as one of the quickest meals tonight.
Yeah, and it was a decent-sized tusky too, so about 10 men, like what do you think, like a 2.5, 3 kilo black spot?
Yeah, I was picking around that 2.5 to 3 kilo sort of size.
Everyone got a wrap, like a decent-sized wrap out of it, and now we're awaiting our second course, which is pretty hard work, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's always waiting for the next course is the hardest part of the job here.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna move on to David. David's to Keiren's left. We've got a bit of a circle going on here, fellas. I just want to, like, if you can touch on some of the stuff you've loved about the course, just the cool things you've seen, and we'll just sort of work through the group and have a discussion as we go. David, for a highlight for you, mate.
Yeah, I'd say Keiren's fish, as in cooking. Keiren's cooking. I'd probably say one of the big reasons why I came on the trip was just to experience your cooking, Shrek, after getting sucked in to buy one of those books.
99 Spearo Recipes, mate.
Yeah, that one.
Actionable seafood meals for the everyday diver, available on noobspearo.com and every other good book retailer and spearfishing shop in the country.
And I can understand now why you had a lot of collaborators on it, because I'm looking forward to all of their recipes, not yours.
Yeah. Ooh, a cutting blow there. But earlier he told me I was the best instructor, so that's okay, David. Thank you, mate. Have you enjoyed them? We've ate seafood nearly every day, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. We did sashimi. We did a fried, crumbed something or other.
Cod.
We had Keiren's barbecued something or other. And we haven't done fish for breakfast yet, have we?
No. Not unless you hooked into some leftover sashimi this morning.
I think that's probably what we need to do next.
Okay, leftover sashimi for you tomorrow. Yeah, all good, mate. No, I've had a cracking time. What about in the water? Anything memorable for you?
Yeah, 100%. The whole trip was fantastic. I think just for those... just to introduce myself to the audience, I, as one part of this crew, I didn't have much spearfishing / any spearfishing experience. I'd done a fair bit of freediving, and so my main, I was super keen to find out all about how to load a weapon, how to use a weapon safely, what shoot to fish, what fish to shoot, what fish not to shoot, and I think that doing that amongst all the guys here, plus you two instructors, was exactly the way I wanted to do it for the first time.
This is the second time you've been on the podcast too. I forgot. You came on the podcast before as the creator of Skorkel. So you've come up with some new gadgets and gizmos. Just catch us up quickly on Skorkel's journey.
Oh, good. Thank you. I dropped in your cookbook. Now you've dropped in my product. Thank you, Shrek.
We're real subtle marketers on the Noob Spearo podcast. The 99 Spearo cookbook, guys, is available again at noobspearo.com and available in every good spearfishing retailer. And Spearos do read.
So yeah. So I wish I knew off the top of my head what the episode was, but it was in 2000 and I'd say probably 19, perhaps.
Something like that.
So
it was pre-COVID.
Mid 150s or something like that. Anyway, yeah, I'd created a product called the Skorkel, which is a little mini underwater breathing apparatus, which has actually got quite a lot of publicity over the years, because when I launched it, it went quite well. But what's coming up sooner is actually an addition to the range, which is a little electric compressor. So that will be a nice little addition to the refill range, which I'm excited about. So maybe we'll do another episode in the future.
So you're on scorkle.com. Is that SCORKL?
That is exactly correct. And it's quite funny because even my own mother wouldn't know how to spell that, unfortunately.
Wow.
The easy way to remember it is it's a portmanteau, a little combination of scuba and snorkel without the E. And that's pretty much exactly what the product is. It's
that's pretty much Melbourne schooling, isn't it, too?
What do you mean? Sorry, I missed that joke.
The spelling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, coming from what? A Queenslander?
Queens Kiwilander.
Yeah.
Nah, awesome, mate. It's fantastic to have you on this trip, and thank you so much for your support on the 99 Spearo Recipes Kickstarter campaign. Massive thanks to you, and it's cool to have you.
Yeah, and I would just, to further plug that book, when we did receive it, if anybody out there hasn't read through it, was actually a classic thing. I was just reading it in the bed with my girlfriend, and I mean, she's got no interest in spearfishing at all, and yet going through page by page, seeing all these awesome, cool recipes was the perfect little connection between like my sport or my interest in a sport and somebody else that doesn't, because everybody can share a meal and get around a meal.
Yeah.
And so seeing the photos, having that connection with going out and bringing back home something that is tasty and, I don't know, just being able to tick off a few recipes, I think that was, we both got a huge kick out of it.
Cool. Awesome, David. Well, I'm like I said, I'm stoked you're here, mate. Highlights for you fellas. Let's keep moving. Alex.
Highlights for me, yeah, right. Well, I guess
you shot a couple of fish, eh? You're like
I did.
I think you're like 14-meter Alex / 2 fish under your belt.
Yeah, 100%. For someone that doesn't, first time putting on a wetsuit and stuff, like it's been really good. I didn't really know what I was in for at the start. It was all pretty new. I just knew I wanted to get my head around it, and none of my mates spearfish or freedive, so just happened to run into Keiren at Adreno, and he's like, "Yeah, we got this course coming up," so I jumped at the opportunity, and now dropping down. I don't know how deep those wrecks were today, 13 meters or something. 12.
It depended on where you like. If you got to the top of where we had tied off, it was 12 meters.
Yeah,
but out the back, it comes down to about 17. So it depends sort of where you sort of went.
Yeah. So I was just cruising somewhere in between that. And I actually filmed it on the GoPro, and I was down there for a minute with Luke, which was sweet.
Hopefully we're going to have a trip video up, so we might get some of your footage in there. So
if
100%. Guys type in like noobspearo.com/Straddy, STRADDIE, I'll try and link up the video and this interview there, and guys can come and check out all the social medias from everyone that's been on the trip, and hopefully we'll have a trip vid up with some of your footage in it.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. But and got two little fish. Good first hit out. Can't complain. So just kicking goals, and with the help from yourself and Keiren, like it's just been a real calm, good learning experience that I can take away when I go do this in the future now. So
tonight you filleted one of the sides of the black spot too, and you made a decent go at it. How'd you feel about it?
Slippery fish.
Yeah. They got big scales too, eh?
Oh yeah, it's hard work. Don't get me wrong. Like the smaller fish I caught was a bit easier, still at my skill level, but slippery fish, but it tastes good. So that's what matters.
Are you happy with your experience?
Yeah, 100%. Can't complain. Like, going from knowing nothing to, being comfortable in the water and, doing what I came here to learn. Like, that's all you can ask for, eh?
You were going to talk some smack about your dive buddy, though?
No.
With Luke a bit. So.
No, I'll bring that up with him after this. Won't call him out in a public forum,
You guys seem to like work together pretty well. So credit to you guys, because it's like when you're with a buddy and you guys are both like new to each other.
Yeah,
making that work is good communication, being assertive, and you guys seem to do that pretty well.
Yeah, 100%. Like after a few dives. Like he dives down a little bit longer than I do under the water. So the first few times I was like, oh, is he coming up? Like, where is he? But, once you start to understand like that pattern of how long they're under, what they're looking for, and you start communicating about, I saw this here, I saw that there. You might want to check that out. You start to get that really nice rhythm and pattern where you're quite comfortable in the water with that person, and, to go out and, spearfish together comfortably is like, a big key milestone as well. So,
mate, well done on a fantastic weekend. Like from from all fronts. You've been an absolute pleasure to have on the course, and it's been fantastic to see you have some wins and have a good time. It's been really cool.
100%.
So,
It's been sweet. I appreciate your help, and Keiren's too, of course. Thank you.
We got Rexy next. Big Rexy. Pushed it
How
out.
How we doing?
Rexy surprised us, didn't he, Keiren?
Oh, well and truly. The fact that, somebody's come along and smashing out 20 meters with trying to keep up with me on the.
Just for PADI people, that was 16 meters maximum. On the third day in his own private time, we did 20.
Yeah, that was on the spearfishing component of the course. He's tried to keep up with me on the bottom at the 20 meters, and he was actually starting to hold his own. It was really good. Blew us out of the park.
It's been really enjoyable actually, and especially diving to 20 meters. That's not something that I've done before, and without the knowledge that we've picked up and just the little skills along the way, I don't think I would have gotten there myself. That's for sure.
I don't think you would have gotten there either, mate. It was all Keiren.
But it's really enjoyable, and look, just the confidence that I had today and yesterday with a few other people in the water, I think that's what really helped me out. Yeah,
mate, you've got really good body language. You can tell you're really comfortable in your body, and you're freediving. I don't think you were pushing yourself at all. I felt like you were diving well within your capabilities, and you were also pretty good at sticking with your buddy, despite his equalising issues. You guys made a way for each other a lot of the time. You worked together. Also, you guys worked together really well. So,
cheers, thank you.
It was awesome to see some progression, and you brought really good energy. I've enjoyed having you on, mate.
Yeah, good on you. Thank you. Yeah, and look, I mean, I've absolutely loved this weekend. This is everything that I would have hoped for. A bit of a mix, I have a bit of spearfishing background, and to get my head a bit more around the freediving bits and pieces, and also one thing that we did today that I really appreciated were those recovery dives or those rescues underwater. I think we all have an understanding of what you may want to do in that situation. You may have seen a YouTube video here and there, but until you get an opportunity to actually, in a safe environment, do that a few times with a couple of people, be on one end of it, be on the other end of it, and physically go through it, it really does kind of solidify that a bit, because I don't think that's something that you want to be doing for the first time, touch wood, obviously, for the first time in a real situation. So that I appreciated for sure.
Most of the students, Keiren had used me as a threat, obviously dragging up a large man from depth and then performing, blow, tap, touch, talk is a little bit sort of nerve-wracking, But you were just like, hey, Shrek, come over, can I pull your weight belt off? Because we were in about 6 meters or 7 meters with sand. So pulling a weight belt off and actually being able to simulate a real blackout was really cool. And I felt like you just did a bang up job from the start. I think most guys got probably 5 turns at practicing a rescue on different people of different shapes and sizes. So Keiren and I are absolutely stoked that that's a big part of the course. And I felt like we jumped in for exactly the right conditions, and couldn't have asked for a better little simulation, to be honest.
Yep. We've lucked out with the conditions as well. It's been really nice. Yeah, totally.
Lucked in or lucked out?
Lucked in.
Lucked in. Okay, cool. I like that. That wasn't awkward. Not as awkward as all the lube and shaft comments that
there have been some awkward sexual double entendres, mainly from Shrek's end, I might add. But
give us one.
I did like the original one that you mentioned when we were practicing our static apnea, where he we're all holding onto the floats nice and calm, and he did mention, look, if you want to get your buddy to pull you off, that's fine, but if you want to pull yourself off the float, that's also fine. And from there, it's kind of been a bit of a
downhill journey,
downhill spiral after that. Yeah, the bug's been caught well and truly.
But that wasn't permission, Rex, to go and do what you did in the shower, mate.
Oh, come on, mate.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Move on to Scotty. Thanks, Rex, so much, bro. That was really good. Got a sweet deal for you today, guys. Go to freedivingfamily.com and learn from Adam Stern and a select team of experts on different disciplines. There's Frenzel, Advanced Frenzel and Hands-Free Equalization, Mouthful, Deep Frenzel Equalization, Bi-Fitting Essentials. These are courses that will give you the 1% that will allow you to improve. Use the code Spearo to get 20% off any course at freedivingfamily.com. Again, that's the code Spearo to get 20% off at freedivingfamily.com. Thanks, Adam and team. Love it. I just love a functional and simple spear gun that I can trust when I pull the trigger. Killshot Spear Guns utilize the finest of kiln-dried Burmese teak. Killshot Spear Guns also combine American-made parts and fine craftsmanship to bring you accurate, reliable, and simple spear guns that you can trust. Fish after fish. Get $30 off any Killshot Spear Gun at killshotspearguns.com. Yes and amen, Noober. That's $30 off American-made performance spear guns at killshotspearguns.com. I'm really sorry for this terrible accent. Brought to you by Ed Martin at killshotspearguns.com. Are you following at Old Man Blue Dive on Instagram yet? Bert Calder, creator of the Old Man Blue Dive gear, is an absolute legend. They're people that froth on the spearing life and intentionally make super hard wearing and practical gear that will stand the test of time. Visit oldmanblue.com.au and check out a bunch of tough, robust equipment made by people that are just as passionate about spearing as you are. oldmanblue.com.au. Scotty, mate,
G'day,
what
mate.
have you enjoyed most about the weekend?
Just challenging myself and I'm surprising myself with what I could achieve.
Yeah?
I come into this course with next to zero experience, and this course has built a strong foundation for the future.
Mm-hmm. Day one, you killed it, mate. Like we did, you were a little bit uncomfortable, I think, with the idea of breath hold, and I think you doubted a bit. You were in your own head about your own capabilities. And talk us through your static, if you can.
Yeah, my static hold, I don't think I could hold my breath for 30 seconds. And the first time I was about 35 or so, and then there was no way I was going to get to a minute 30. And surprised myself when it happened. And the confidence grew a little bit.
Yeah, I swear you came up, mate. The shoulders came back, the chest came out, and I was like, all right, we got Scotty here. And it was good, mate. It was a really solid effort, and you did well to push out. I know it was outside of your comfort zone, but you made it happen, so it was awesome.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, Keiren.
And day two, you've done some things in the water that you were a bit surprised with. Did you see any good fish or?
Oh, yeah, wobbegongs.
Yeah.
Is that the name? I always say it wrong.
Wobbegongs?
Wobbegongs, yeah.
Sometimes just wobby.
Yeah, seen a lot of them. I freaked out the first time I swam over one, thinking it'd chase me or come up and bite me or something. And I relaxed and passed it, and I see an even bigger one, and it did the same thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Not all sharks are like that.
Yeah.
Not like Jaws.
They're pretty chill most of the time, eh?
Yeah.
If you dangle a bit of fish in front of their face or stick your hand into their hole, they can be a different animal. But you didn't manage to do that, so well done.
Yeah.
I've come down on a ledge before, and one's sort of chilling out on a rock, like sunbathing almost, and I've just nearly gone to lay on top of it, and I was like, shit, I'm glad I pulled up, so. Anything else like stand out for the course for the weekend?
Probably the thing that stood out most for me is seeing Jaden's reaction once we got out of the water.
Yeah.
And he just completed his 10-meter dive. Like, he was ecstatic, and it was just, you could feel the energy. It was fantastic. It was so good. Yeah.
You guys both did well. Like this morning, you guys were like pretty worried. I think you and Jaden were worried about what was going to happen. And Linton come up with a cool exercise. Can you sort of walk us through what he sort of proposed you do?
Yeah, because we had to do the 10-meter dive. Linton kind of laid it out on the grass for it in like a 5-meter mark and a 10-meter mark. And we just practiced holding our breath and walking slowly and breathe and visualizing it, and then walk back.
Yep.
And it seemed like it would be a lot easier that way.
Yep. Yeah, and the things you're not contending with are equalizing, and we probably could have included that in that exercise, and then you're even doing kind of that, you're mimicking the full dive. I liked the idea. I think it did a lot to help Jaden relax. And both of you guys were looking more comfortable in the water today with the idea of diving down the line than you were earlier,
Yep. I definitely felt a lot more comfortable.
Cool. So you fly back tomorrow, mate. Are you happy, man?
Oh, yeah. So much I picked up from this course, and not just from you and Keiren, from everyone here. have been helpful and had some things like some suggestions and stuff. And yeah, it's been fantastic.
Good bunch of blokes, eh? Apart
Yeah,
from
we'll go
Rexy,
there.
really. I'm just picking on him. Cool. All right, let's move on to Jeff. Jeff brought over he fancied himself. What's that captain's name again?
Ahab.
Captain Ahab. He brought over a spear gun that could, Greenpeace wouldn't approve, and neither would Sea Shepherd. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's okay. That's their problem, not mine.
It's a massive timber cannon, and today you had a chance to test it. Did the gun surprise you, or was it?
Yeah, it did actually. It surprised me quite well, and Keiren helped me out a hell of a lot with it. And yeah, it's his fault. He gave me the idea as well. So, but yeah, very well balanced in the water, and yeah, very very surprised and very happy with the result.
So you're throwing a 9mm shaft,
8.5.
8.5.
Steel.
How many bands?
We're running 2, 4, a combination of about 6 bands.
Cool.
It's-
So that's a serious blue water gun, yeah?
That's blue water only. Yeah, there's nothing.
Not
else.
really appropriate for where we are, but like great to test. in a
Yeah, it was
controlled
only a
environment.
test. Yeah, we
Yeah.
fired it out into the open, so which is good. So
You left the wobbies alone.
yeah, we left the wobbies on. Yeah, no,
That's good.
We left that up to Scotty to make friends with.
So apart from testing the gun, how have you found the weekend?
It's been great. It's been great to spend time in the water, just to build up the tolerance. I wouldn't say tolerance, but yeah, just the
tolerance, what, for us?
that there. yeah. But more the experience in the water, getting
Yeah.
used to that, getting down to the depth, staying down there, and looking around and using that as an experience for future adventures. It's easy to swim in a pool and hold your breath for a period of time, but out here it's a completely different game. So yeah, no, it's something that I've really enjoyed, and yeah, it's been great to see everyone progress and have a bit of fun.
So talk about pool training. So Keiren tells me you started, how long have you been in the water spearfishing and freediving?
1st of October started that.
And what month are we?
January.
Okay.
Get into February now.
So you've gone from where were you when you started?
Basically, when I started, couldn't do 12.5 meters. Literally could not do 12.5 meters underwater.
And we're not talking depth, we're talking about
Distance.
on a swimming pool distance.
Yeah, distance. Yeah.
Okay.
Couldn't get the weight right. Couldn't get anything right at all. It's just something completely new, completely foreign. Yeah, 12.5 meters was maximum. Did max night with Brisbane Bull Sharks in November.
Yep.
And did 30 meters struggling on the surface. And it was,
Well, first of all, Jeff, well done. Because how old are you? I'm not being rude.
49, turned 50 this year.
49, turning 50, and you've taken on a brand new pursuit, a brand new lifestyle. And I know like 3-4 years ago, I went and started jiu-jitsu at 37 or 38 or something. Brand new, green to it. I was getting tapped out 4 or 5 times by someone that was half my size in 5 minutes, And I distinctly know the feeling of feeling like, you just don't know what you don't know, And you walk into a place, you don't understand the culture, you don't understand the rules, you don't really know what's going on, and it's an uncomfortable feeling. And the older you get, sometimes the harder it gets to stay open-minded, stay open to experiences and trying stuff new. Yeah. So well done for doing that.
Cheers.
And you've gone about it pretty smart. You've jumped into a pool training group.
Yep.
And you've seen enormous improvement there. And then you've come out and you've done a couple of courses now.
Yep.
How does this sort of stack up? Has this made a difference for you? Has it moved the needle?
Yeah. Well and truly moved the bar forward in my expectations of what I can achieve and what I want to achieve. And then I can take what I've learnt this weekend, I can take it back into the pool, into a controlled environment with the bull shark freediving team to really work on that. The technical part of it, as in slowing everything down, being more relaxed in the water. Distance is not a concern in the pool. It's dive time. That's what I need to build up and keep.
So you reckon like bull sharks train twice a week? Are you going to both training sessions?
Yeah, definitely.
So you do that, and then you're trying to get in as much ocean time as you can as well.
Yeah, you're getting as much as I can. It's difficult for novices. That's what I've found, and I feel for the other guys that are learning to do it, because a lot of the experienced Spearos, which I can respect, is they don't really want to take out a novice because their depth maybe not be the same as theirs. Well, it definitely won't be, but it's they've just got to keep an eye on them a little bit more, and they're going out there for the catch and kill. So I can respect that, but it's coming on these sort of retreats, courses is good because we get to work with guys that normally go out every weekend or every second weekend and do what we want to do.
I go out like every 4 or 5 months, and I talk to people that go out every weekend. You're right. Like, you want to get runs on the board, you want to get time in the water. The more experienced people you can get around and dive with, the bigger wins you're going to have. Yeah. And you've helped guys out that are just starting their journey. So already you're 3 months into it, you're turning around and you're helping around the guys that have done even less than you have. So I reckon that's a cool thing. And like I was talking earlier about jiu-jitsu, I think we could borrow a lot from their culture. That culture of no ego, that culture of just like reaching down and we're all learning together. It's the rising tide mentality. I think spearfishing needs more of that. And I'm stoked that you've got that and you're already doing it. So that's cool, ass. Awesome. Cool, Jeff. You're going to start a YouTube channel. When are you starting it?
Probably starting that in the next month when the wife and I head around Australia. So,
cool.
So this is one of the reasons why I'm doing the free diving and the spearfishing is so we can experience everything, not only just on the land, but what's underneath the water as well.
Guys, if you're listening to this podcast and you want to connect with any of these dudes, I'll have their social medias linked up in the show notes. So noobspearo.com/Straddy and reach out. And if you feel like you've connected with any of these guys and their stories and their experiences, just reach out to them and say, hey, I heard what you were talking about and I relate to that. And, I'd love to kind of do that too. Should I pay the $4,800 to come out and do a weekend with Keiren and Isaac?
Is that at the discounted price?
Yeah. No, awesome, mate. Chuck it on to Luke. And Luke, you were buddied up. You were winning. You had a bit of a water slapping moment this afternoon. To walk us through that, buddy.
Yeah, I had a bit of a frustrating moment this afternoon. I've been real keen to get a Tusky every day we've been here, and I had my chance this afternoon, and I got it. And as I was pulling it, Rexy's rubbing off on me here.
Rexy's rubbing you off. Wow.
Yeah, had a bit of a shocker and ripped the spear out, and he's disappeared, and it was incredibly frustrating. And I've had bad dreams for a long time about that.
Right. So walk us through the dive, what you did and what you do differently next time.
Yeah, sure. So I it was murky as we were on a bit of a dust dive here, which
how much viz? What are you talking?
I reckon 2 meters. It was pretty murky, wasn't it?
I'm calling it 3 to 4.
Yeah, right.
This is what happens when you've been spearing a long time. You tend to
exaggerate.
The glass half full shit.
Yeah. It was murky.
Yeah,
and,
it was.
And we'd had a couple kind of sharky moments throughout the trip, and so it was already in the back of our mind. But went out there and did my dive. I reckon it wasn't deep, probably like 7 meters, maybe 6 or 7 meters. We were sort of down.
I think 6 or 7 where I was shooting from, and then I ended up going to like 8.6.
Yeah, so it wasn't deep, like as deep as we've been doing, but still good. And the murky kind of water seemed to bring the fish in a lot closer. So it kind of got down to that, and there was a bit of a tree kind of structure down where we were, and sort of sat near that, and lo and behold, the Tuskies kind of come out and sort of sat there and gave me plenty of time to have a crack at it. And as I've done it, I've seen the shot go through. I've seen it kind of.
Where did you shoot? Where did you hit the fish?
Just through the middle, like just behind the gills of the fish.
Yep.
And it looked to me like it was a good shot, and it was sweet, and the fish was kind of on the spear. Right. And so I started going up, and I pulled the spear quite quickly, and it's just gone straight through. And
so you think maybe the flopper didn't engage?
I'm not sure, but
it does happen.
Yeah. It was pretty frustrating.
Yeah. So what would you do differently next time?
Well, we were talking about before. I think instead of just going back for the surface and pulling the spear up with me, swim towards the fish and trying to secure the fish on the end of the spear before I went back up. So
Did you have gas in the tank, like with your breath hold on that?
Yeah, I
dive?
would have too. I was just pumped that I'd hit it, and I was
Yeah.
like going to go celebrate. But
Yeah.
yeah,
A lot of those little reef fish too, like as soon as you put tension on that shooting line, like I talk about the art of knowing how much tension to put on a fish because so many of them tear out. And like you learn through losing stuff. And that's an unfortunate reality. I
yeah.
reckon.
I've been saying everyone the whole trip that I wanted to get Tusky, and that was like,
And you had it.
yeah.
And you
I
were,
think
you were coming up to the surface ready to take a photo for Instagram.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you were spewing, I seen you slap in the water, and I think that's a good reaction. None of us should be happy about shooting a fish and losing it, but it's a reality. Like it does happen. So, and it's happened to us all.
Yeah.
I think I told a story about shooting a jewfish near the spot, and the flopper didn't engage, and it was over 20 kilo, and it's just pulled straight.
It's heartbreaking,
back
isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, it is, mate. And it doesn't get any easier. The bigger and more, like desirable the fish is for you on a personal level, the worse it feels, I think. So for you, this course, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it's been great. Like I've been spearfishing for a while, but I kind of describe myself as a bit of a flatty basher. Like I float along the rock walls with my son Theo, and we take out a lot of flatties, and it's great fun. But we've got great kind of desires to get out deeper and get some much better fish, and this is a bit of a stepping stone to that, and doing that safely, which is pretty key.
Cool. Have you seen some improvements this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think, well, my breath hold's always been really good as a static, but getting out in the ocean and being able to have any kind of serious bottom times always been an issue. And I don't have a lot of mates that are into the sport, so I'm pretty much self-taught, trying to do it on my own. And it's been brilliant this weekend, just getting some advice on techniques around breathing and settling, and then pushing through some of the carbon, the CO2 tolerance, and spending a bit of time on the bottom. And had a bit of a light bulb moment this morning actually when we were out on that wreck, and just getting down to a depth, and I'm actually fine. Like I've got plenty of time down here, just relaxing and chilling out and getting used to sort of being under there. And that was great.
Mate, you're good to watch underwater. There's always going to be stuff that you're working on. Doesn't matter how good you get or how long you've been spearing. And it's been cool to see you make some improvements and just like come out stoked and frothing. Like that's all any of us want. So awesome.
Yep.
Cool. I already spoke to Linton for 4.5 hours today. We did like an Oprah Winfrey kind of thing. But Linton, welcome back. We're actually on air this time, mate. It's a pleasure to have you, buddy.
Thank you, mate.
You were like David, you were a supporter of 99 Spearo Recipes on Kickstarter. So first of all, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like guys like you made that book happen. You made it a reality, and we're able to print it and bring it to life. And that project is going to make people better stewards of our ocean and its resources for years to come. So hats off.
Where's that available?
It's available on noobspearo.com. Good. And available in every good spearfishing retailer. Only the good ones. The bad ones, apparently their customers don't read. So don't go there. Come to the good ones. It'll also be up on Amazon.com if you want to support Jeff Bezos and other multi-billionaires. So cool. Linton, tell us a bit about yourself. How old are you? How long have you been spearing?
Well, I guess look, confession there that I've figured out that I'm the only one representing the 50 Up Club here.
Oh, Jeff, he tried to get
He's
in
almost.
there. Yeah.
He's almost.
Yep.
So 51 in a couple of weeks. So how long have I been spearing for? I bought my first spear gun before a lot of you guys were born here. But that said, I've probably always been a part-time Spearo. And it's always been something I've come back to in my life. Like if I've gone out, there's seasons for things in your life sometimes. Like if I was out chasing snowflakes around the world, I'd come back and I'd end up going diving again. So it's something that I've always come back to.
Cool.
So yeah, it's always been a thing that I do. So
I was going to ask you to tell the Jewy story, but you've told it twice already today. I can't do it to you. But mate, you've shot some cracker fish. What do you think, in your mind, what's the difference between someone who's successful spearfishing and someone who continues to, possibly never get where they want to go?
Mate, look, I got to say with the jewfish thing, like I still feel like I was very lucky with it. So I don't consider myself a very distinguished.
What's that thing with luck? It's where skill and opportunity meet or something.
Yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah.
But like I look, it's not been a continual thing for me to be able to go. Like I don't go out and get big fish all the time or anything like that. I enjoy being out in the water. That's what I really enjoy about it. Does this potentially take something to a new level? Yeah, it does. So, and that's and that'd be great to be able to do that. So,
You told me earlier today you were like, you got down on that wreck and you were happy.
Oh, it was unreal. Yeah, look, and before these dives that we do, I think there's always a certain amount of anxiety that's there about, can you do what you want to do and stuff like that. But once we got down at the bottom of the wreck and all the fish down there are all chilling out, they're all happy and stuff like that, and you can just kind of get in the groove of what they're doing, and it was great just to be able to be down there, spend a little bit of time down there, crawl along the thing and have a bit of a look, and yeah, it was great. It was a really good experience.
Mate, it was cool. Like you turned around though, I was filming you and then you were filming me and we had one of those awkward moments.
Well, you're not quite in the shot. I'm not very good at filming, so.
Yeah. Well, I've got a face and a figure that was made for TV, so I don't know what I'm doing with this podcast, mate, but thank you for listening. And awesome. I'm stoked you had a good time. What highlight of the weekend for you?
I like the fact that it's quite a diverse bunch of blokes that are here, and I think what everyone's achieving and what they're doing, it's great to see everyone improving and doing their thing. Like, and whether people are experienced or not, that's probably been the camaraderie and like it's all inclusive for everyone. It's been brilliant. Yeah, that's a big thing for me, I reckon.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, you come for as much for the company and the like-minded people as you do for the event itself.
Yeah, being out diving and being able to get out there and I suppose, like I said, for me, it's been quite part-time. So to get out there and, mate, I've done more diving in the last few days than probably what I've done in the last 6 months, I reckon. So, and to get out there and do some of the dives I've done and feel comfortable the way I have, like it's reassuring, gives me confidence. I think,
Great news, guys. Adam Stern has made his freedivingfamily.com courses available at a discount for the Noob Spearo community. If you get on freedivingfamily.com, use the code Spearo, you'll get 20% off any course. There's a bunch of sick courses on there. There's an equalizing stage 1. There's an equalizing advanced techniques video there. They're two of my absolute favorites. If you have any problems with equalizing, go to freedivingfamily.com. Get Adam's course and use the code Spearo to get 20% off any course. Check it out at freedivingfamily.com. In the world of freedive spearfishing, there's no magic breathing technique that's all of a sudden going to get you down and shoot massive fish at depth and holding big bottom times, but there is a way to do it safer and smarter, take down more fuel to maximize the time that you have there. Learn at noobspearo.com/TED. with Ted Hardy from Immersion Freediving. If you take down more fuel, you can stay for longer. Learn how to do it free at noobspearo.com/TED. Keiren works every day at the Adreno Wollongabba store. I've been running this podcast for 9 years. For us, running these courses, this is the very first of its kind. This is like a dream come true for him and I. We really want to see people have a chance to do things they wouldn't be able to do on their own, to learn things that they would take a lot longer to do on their own, and to hopefully be more safe and more competent from the get-go. Do you think we're on track for that?
Oh, 100%. Like if I've been part-time spearfishing for probably like the best part of 30 years, and I can see some of these guys like Alex is diving down, like he's done everything he's had to do. He speared a couple of fish. I don't know where we at, Alex, like 15 meters or something like that. He's done that in 2 days, 3 days. Like, probably taken me 20 years. So, like if you want to fast track something, do a course like this.
Awesome, Lyndon. Mate, thanks so much. Like guys like you that have come along, like as instructors, we're relying on almost like some of the more experienced guys to reach and help out the other guys on the course, and you've done that in spades. And guys like you make the experience what it is. So hats off to you, and thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mate, it's been great.
Cool. I'm going to come back to Keiren for a sec. Keiren, it's our inaugural 3-day spearing and freediving bash, mate. What do you reckon we've done well? What could we do better? Why am I a better instructor than you?
Oh, not exactly sure on what that last question was. That was a bit of gibberish in my opinion. But I think it went really well in terms of teaching the fellas here how to do things safely in a fun environment at the same time. Nothing but laughs and smiles going around. And like there are some things that we've picked up along the way that we can improve for the next time. Like for instance, getting like a fish ID key for them to learn their species before they get in the water and things like that. But yeah, what about yourself?
Yeah, like some of our students taught us better ways to do some of the stuff we're doing, we're not really running a traditional style freediving course that we've been part of before. We're doing something that's new. And so the ideas that have been given to us, the feedback, like today we tied off on the wreck with a big float, and then we tied our freediving floats with a line down off the wreck. Obviously, the tide was standing still, which helped us, but I feel like we should just do that every time.
Yeah, that was something that actually worked really well on that one. And one, it was, people can have a chance to go down and have a look at the wreck as well. But then on the freediving side, we can still go through our requirements there. And once done, actually go to those deeper depths and have a little bit more fun.
There's something to look at too. And I think that's a cool part. Like we were spoiled with Viz today, and it was like, it's kind of like day 3, really, of the course. Tomorrow's kind of like a bit of a half day. But we had like 10, 15 meters Viz easy on the high tide. The water's warm, it's comfortable. We've got a rock wall that's 30, 40 meters away. Everyone can rest when they want to. We can kind of deal with some of the teething issues that come along with everyone because we all get uncomfortable about stuff. I'm pretty happy, honestly.
Yeah, so for me, being our first actual course we've run of this, it's gone a lot smoother than I was expecting, and I'm really happy for that. Like, yes, we do have some little teething things that we can definitely fix up for next time, but I reckon it went really well.
Do you reckon we should go round and get everyone to score us out of 10 and then offer us one tip for improvement before handing the mic on?
Oh, 100%. Let's hear it from him.
Here we go. David's very he's like one of these guys that's very verbally competent. He's going to have some magic advice for us.
So score out of 10 and how can you improve? Is that right?
That's it.
My goodness. Well, I can't give you 10, can I?
No, 10 would be perfect. So please do not feel any responsibility to do that.
What did they do back in like MTV days? Didn't you get 4 spuds on the couch or something like that? Can I just give you 4 spuds instead? No. Excellent. A plus. Let's call it a 9. So we've got 1 mark left. To improve, I think I personally might have enjoyed a bit more on the spearfishing side rather than the freediving stuff. But the freediving stuff was the formal learnings that a lot of other people wouldn't have done, whereas I've done like 3 freediving courses myself.
Yep.
So I think personally I probably would have liked a little bit more weighting on the spearfishing, like in particular. But it's not as if we didn't cover heaps of that anyway. And but that's where I would have come from.
Cool. Awesome. Alex?
Yeah, look, to go from knowing absolutely nothing about freediving and spearfishing to diving, 15 meters, being comfortable, spearing a few fish, like I can't give it anything less than a 10. The only thing the improve I'd give for you is I've caught a few fish off, rod and reel, and I love that. But the beauty is when you're on land, you can check your book, check what species it is, check what the bag limit is, all that kind of stuff, right? When you're under the water, it's a bit murky. You're trying to make out what a fish is, is that going to be a legal fish when I come to the surface? You know what I mean? Especially around these parts. I've only just come back to Brisbane. I was born here, but I've only just moved back up here in November last year. I'm not 100% familiar with the species around Straddy and stuff like that. I haven't done any of this before. Knowing what's good eating, what's worth taking, what's worth leaving, that's probably the key to me, whether that comes in, like a PowerPoint before we head out for a spear or something like that.
We've got some ideas for this. It's
Yeah.
good feedback, and thank you
Yeah.
very much, Alex.
Yeah, I'm
This
sure.
is this exactly the kind of feedback we wanted to pick up and learn from, and just keep adapting. So
Yeah.
a little bit like when we go out spearfishing, every time we make a mistake, we don't do something quite right, we learn from it, and we keep moving. And you guys are helping us to do that as instructors, and we want the course to be even better than this. I don't know that we're going to fluke the weather,
Yeah,
but awesome, man.
true.
Thanks so much for your feedback.
But yeah, just Big Sustain is a relaxed environment. It's a sport you need to be relaxed for, and that's coming from someone that's done it for 2.5 days, if that. But you know, if you're carrying that stress and anxiety into the water, you know you can get in your head. And that dive today really showed me just calm down, listen to your body, and just relax. And it's all good. And the relaxed environment with all the boys has just made it what it was. And I could have told you after the first 6 hours of being on this course that it was worth the money. You know what I mean? Like, I have zero idea what I'm doing. But now I'm going to go away and do this in my own time. So
Cool, brother.
can't
Awesome,
complain.
Alex.
I'll
Thanks,
give it off
mate.
to Rex.
Rexy?
Yeah, look, I've been sitting here trying to rack my brain for some complaints, and I really can't come up with any, honestly. Everything that you guys have been providing has been really, really spot on. And just like, it's not been a course where you rock up, you just taught the course material, you pass your test, and there you go. It has been very interactive. We're sitting here most nights having a beer, discussing little bits and pieces. So as far as, things that you can do better, I'm sure, there's a few things here and there, but no huge ones come to my head. I would have to go a clear 10 out of 10 for both of you. Because honestly, just if I have a little issue with something, I feel confident to come and have a chat with yous, and, you give me the advice that I need. So I appreciated that.
Cool, Rex. Cheers, brother. Scotty?
Maybe a 9 out of 10. The only thing I could really fault is wasn't enough chocolate in the shopping, mate. We've got a bit of a sweet tooth. I've been looking around, and
Mate, there's still a block. There's still half a block of Whitakers in there.
oh, is there?
It's got
you've been
coconut
hiding
as
it.
well. Yeah.
But yeah, I almost a 10 out of 10 because I had zero experience, and this has built a really strong foundation going forward. And I can't wait to keep pursuing this and see where it takes me.
Cool. Jeff?
Yeah, easy 9.5, 10 for me. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great sort of being involved in the whole group as a retreat, taking the time, doing everything. But yeah, no, can't fault you guys. You've done it. It was to be expected. There was a little teething things, but they're nothing major. That's
We made up for it with eye fillet, eh?
yeah.
Right.
No, I didn't get any eye fillet.
Oh, sorry about that, mate. The rest of us did.
Yeah. no, it's been a great weekend. Yeah.
Kill fish with precision and power, sending shafts from a stable platform with Killshot spear guns. Made in the Florida Keys by Ed Martin, you're buying American-made, dependable spear guns. Get $30 off any Killshot spear gun at killshotspearguns.com. Yes and amen, Nooba. That's $30 off American-made performance spear guns at killshotspearguns.com. It says if they're in the shop or on the phone, they can cash in by saying, "Crikey, mate," or the Noob Spearo podcast sent me. Check them out at killshotspearguns.com, based in the Florida Keys.
Did you know when coming up from a spearfishing dive, it's possible that you would feel 100% fine right until the moment you blacked out? Did you know being dehydrated or hungover increases your risk of having a blackout? Did you know I have never seen a person hit the surface and yell, "Tad, help, I'm about to black out, come save me"? No, they typically hit the surface, take a couple breaths, and then quietly sink into the abyss. Whether they live or die is 100% dependent on if you are close enough to grab them and take care of the situation. Did you know it's very easy to have a loss of motor control or a minor blackout and not even know that you had one? Did you know that if you have a loss of motor control or blackout and you continue diving that day, you are way more likely to have a much worse blackout? Did you know breathing across the eyes of a blacked out diver can help initiate a breathing response? That was 60 seconds with me. What else don't you know? My name is Ted Hardy, the founder of Immersion Freediving, and I want to do more to stop the needless fatalities from shallow water blackout than any other person on the planet. And that's why I created freedivingsafety.com. Lucky for you, I made it very easy to get up to speed. You can learn how to reduce your risk of having a blackout, how to save your buddy's life, how to tell if you're wearing too much weight, and avoid breathing techniques that drastically increase your risk of having a blackout, and it's all for free. Go to freedivingsafety.com and sign up for my free safety course. Dive safe out there. It's not even that hard, especially when you can learn for free at freedivingsafety.com.
We might go to Jaden. Jaden, mate, we're asking everyone for a score out of 10 and kind of any feedback you had about the course, preferably some stuff that we can build on and make this even better for next time.
Well, I would simply straight up say 10 out of 10 for me, simply because it's my first time. Everything that I thought about this course, it all happened. Apart from this morning, I was quite nervous to do the 10-meter dive. But Linton came up with a great exercise. It helped Scotty and I. And then I managed to do the 10-meter dive. And so I was pumped to do that.
I think you ended up pumping out like 12, didn't you?
Yeah, to do that shipwreck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't manage to stay down there like the other fellas. But I touched it, and that was my goal. I did it. So I was stoked. So it was awesome feeling. And also with all you fellas around, so it was good.
Do you think that we should take Linton's drill and make it like a thing for everyone?
Yes, absolutely. For the people that haven't quite got that confidence or that mentality to do it at that time.
Yeah.
But I think it really worked. So
I'm thinking about making it part of the breathing workshop at the back end.
Yeah.
And we're going to simulate equalizing, and then we might even implement, like on the day 2 or day 3, the spear gun stuff as well into that.
Yeah, no.
So you hold your breath, you equalize and you walk out to 10 or 12 meters, and then you you pull the trigger, but your spear gun's not loaded. Someone runs the shaft out, puts it into a fake fish, and then we go through the process. So everyone's kind of a bit more confident with all of the mechanics of doing what it is that we do and take for granted. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Great idea. Everything from this course was absolutely awesome. I loved every moment. I loved the cooking. I loved the diving, the fishing, seeing Rex come do that 20-meter dive with Keiren and Scotty. I was with Scotty, and I was in the same boat with him this morning. And just after doing that exercise, it built me confidence. And then, I did the 5. And then I came back up and I was like, what the heck was that? Was that it? So then, I went to do the 10, same mindset, did the 10. I was like, what? Was that it? So anyway, so all good. So I had a great time.
Mate,
I wouldn't fault anything.
Jaden's my brother-in-law, and you brought some awesome energy, Jaden. You helped out so much, like with meals and, helping us keep up with the dishes and stuff. Like guys like you that chip in on trips.
Love it.
You make the difference. Like
I'm glad
Keiren and I are flat strapped, like organising ourselves with teaching and that. People that just chip in and go the extra mile, that makes a massive difference for us.
Yeah,
so
cool. No,
2 thumbs up from us
glad
too
to help.
for you, brother.
Yep. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
Cool. We're going to move on to Luke. Luke, score out of 10, mate. Feedback for improvement.
Yeah, it's been unreal. Like the location has been ridiculous. Like we've just got our dive grounds right out of the back of the house, which is unreal. Gluten-free catering has been amazing. Those brownies, I think they were your wives. They were a great treat. Keiren, I'll give you a 10 out of 10. Like the advice you've been able to give us this week has been invaluable, and 100% of it I'll take into my dives moving forward. Shrek, I'll give you a 9. Like you've been pretty good. The one.
Why did I ask for feedback?
One piece of advice I think. When a course participant comes up from a dive and says there's some great tuskies underneath that log, maybe let another course participant go down and have before you go down and plug a 3-kilo one yourself.
That is brutal feedback, but that is exactly how I felt too. But you guys were good, like straight away. Like you and Alex were working together. I came into your buddy pair, and the 3 of us dove together. And we talked about not spooking the fish. We dove the same location. I probably did like the 5th or 6th dive on that log. Neither of you guys had spooked all the fish out of that. You both, Alex is brand new to spearfishing. You're still fairly new. for me to be able to shoot a fish off the same log that you guys had dived a couple of times each is actually pretty surprising. Because normally, like, new guys spook everything. And that's why a lot of experienced guys don't want to go spearing with new guys, because unfortunate reality of being new is you do stuff that just spook everything. And so you guys are doing really well straight from off the get-go. So I'm sorry I shot you fish.
Yeah. But no, it's been excellent. Thanks.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Linton, out of 10. Did you give us a score? Oh, I got a 9. He got a 10. Yeah, sorry. Thanks for reminding me.
Okay, so for a score, look, I can't give you 10 out of 10 because there's always room for improvement.
Yeah,
That's just life. So look, I'll give you 9 out of 10. Got this idea of something you could do though, which would be like this simulative thing on the grass here, just to change your perspective of like depth to length.
You're getting full credit for all of it, mate. It's really good actually, and like I think sometimes guys like Keiren and I, like we've been learning to be instructors, but you forget what you know, and sometimes you forget how complicated it is, and it's good to break all of these tasks down and to perform them all in a controlled environment, put it all together out in the ocean. It's
that's probably just something over time to see people's reaction, because I know we spoke about it earlier on, the process and the things that need to line up to be able to get from getting in the water to getting to the point of spearing, securing a fish, and then there's the whole next step of like putting it on the plate and stuff like that. There's so many different parts that you can break down and stuff like that. So it's probably just a bit over time of being, I guess, observant to see where are people stalling on their progress. And if you can recognize where they're stalling on their progress, then concentrate on fixing that bit, which will keep people moving again. So that's probably the thing that I'm thinking. So.
Love it. Yeah, it's been awful having you on the course. I'll give you a 3 out of 10 as a student. And mate, like guys, ideas like that they're going to help us do the next one better. So you're leaving a legacy for the next bunch of people that pay $4,700 for a weekend over here, and Keiren and I will just be like smashing hundreds into the ocean, awesome guys. I've had a blast. I'm looking forward to doing the next one already. I hope the next group of students are just as passionate as you guys are, and as fun driven. Like I've had a great time. I can only speak for myself. I'm going to let Keiren talk for himself.
Yeah, no, I've been absolutely stoked with how this weekend's gone. With all that feedback, it's absolutely awesome. It's great to get the constructive criticism as well as think areas to improve. But the major point there was that I was 10 out of 10 and Shrek was 9 out of 10.
Wow, that's better feedback than I would have given myself, but I appreciate the generosity. I think there's definitely some things we can improve on. Fish ID. We're already hatching some ideas to help guys with that, and the exercise Linton created as well as some of our setups in the water. I think you and I are going to continue to improve.
Yeah, definitely.
And make a cool experience. But like in terms of our first one, like the weather we've been treated pretty well.
We could not have picked a better weather weekend. This has just been phenomenal. And even like just streamlining some of the spearfishing stuff I'm running through to try and cover a bit more of it. I'll definitely crack down on trying to get more of that. So get more people through that in the future. I hope they all remember the knots. We'll see if they do or not.
Hey, well done on the rigging workshop. I watched on from the couch over there, and you did a good job.
Awesome. Cheers.
All good, fellas. Well, we're going to wrap this podcast up and unfortunately have to continue to have beers and enjoy the moon and the ocean 40 meters away from us. So awesome.
The quote of the day.
You pull them off and I'll pull them. Someone had another one. What's your Instagram, by the way? Beard Minister.
The beard and the minister. Yeah. Yep. You only need a little bit of lube on the tip to get it in.
I think that was the Keiren quote.
That was one of my quotes from the rigging workshop today.
So awesome, guys. If you're listening, you want to come and check out these guys' social medias, connect with them. Check us out, noobspearo.com/Straddy, STRADDIE, and I'll link up a bunch of stuff. Hopefully a trip video, because a bunch of guys had GoPros from this. We had some DJI footage from David, so we have drone footage and all sorts of crazy stuff. And we shot a couple of cool fish, and we ate really well, I reckon. So cool.
cod and trout the first night. Or the second night we had the cod, a drummer and silver drummer and a gold spot surgeon.
Yeah.
Was last night, and then tonight we've had the black spot tusky, so been pretty spoiled.
Cool. Well, good. Thanks for listening, guys. Hey guys, I hope you had fun listening to today's episode. It was definitely something a little bit different. It was the inaugural long weekend spearfishing course run by Keiren and I. As mentioned earlier, we had a heap of ton running it. If you are interested in doing it, shoot me an email, Shrek@noobspearo.com, and I will get you in on the list and let you know about any upcoming dates we have planned. Guys, as usual, this show is brought to you by patron legends who are helping to power the Noob Spearo podcast. I got 46 legends on there at the moment. For as little as $2 an episode, all the way up to $10 an episode, there is 3 levels that guys are supporting the show and showing their love and helping us to keep fuel in the outboard and continue making show after show, powering ahead. 9 years now making this sucker. The Noob Spearo podcast, frothing interviews to help you have fun, even if you're not getting wet, and learn a ton, even if you are. So, hey, I'll catch you back next week. Who knows where we'll be? I've got a bunch of cool interviews planned, as yet not recorded, but let's see. So subscribe, leave some love, leave a review, and I'll catch you in a week. Shrek out. This podcast is brought to you by aqualite.com.au. This is the best solution, bar none, for staying hydrated in the ocean. If you're a Spearo, it's an absolute no-brainer. It's a game changer. If you're doing extended trips and the cramp starts to set in and the old body's telling you, hey, that's enough, just get hydrated and it will save you a whole heap of woe. Get Aqualite at aqualite.com.au. It's scientific rehydration that Spearos know and trust. I know because one works there, and that's why we've set up this discount code for you, 10% off when you use the code Noob Spearo at aqualite.com.au. Check it out. Australian-made hydration products tailored for Spearos and a whole bunch of other people that suffer from dehydration too. But check it out at aqualite.com.au. Use the code Noob Spearo to save 10%. Today's episode was an absolute banger, and so is our major sponsor, Adreno. Visit them at adreno.com.au. They have a huge range of equipment. You can find it at adreno.com.au. Use the code NoobSpearo at checkout. When you shop online, you can save $20 on every purchase over $200. You can even use that code in-store at some of their huge mega stores Australia-wide. Price beat guarantee on any Australian spearfishing equipment price. Again, visit them at adreno.com.au. Use the code NoobSpearo. The Noob Spearo podcast is incredibly proud to be partnering with Neptonics.com. It's solid gear that works, equipment you can rely on. It's the very best in spearing gear from around the planet. Neptonics is also the one-stop shop for all your spearfishing gear, particularly in the US. They got free shipping on all orders over $99 in the US. Furthermore, you can use the code NOOB10 to save 10% off on your entire shopping basket at Neptonics.com. Use the code NoobSpearo at Neptonics.com.